So AI stuff, AI. Someday we should actually,
Like create
you
an
know,
intro. Yeah,
we
yeah,
should,
or
yeah.
at least have like a reoccurring thing that we do every time.
Oh, right, yeah. It doesn't have to be like the same clip, but it could be, just like people do. Welcome to the AI Monday podcast. I'm Jordan. He's
And I'm
Nathan.
Nathan. Oh,
Yep. And we're talking through
and
this
he's
week's
Nathan.
updates in AI. I don't, right? Something like that. I tried to look at some like productivity apps, and that's my next, like, what I want to look into. Stuff like motion, um, stuff like, well, there was an interesting one that I was going to talk about called Melon. That was basically the idea of it was being your second brain. So you were like, it was a way to organize what you were learning, and it looked really kind of creepy and kind of cool. But they shut down in March, so I was like, oh shoot, never mind.
Dang.
Yeah,
Hmm. Melon. R.I.P.
yeah.
Melon.
R.I.P. Melon. But I was looking at, just some of the ones that are getting advertised right now, like Motion, where you pop in all your to-dos and then you put in the prioritization, the amount of time you think it's going to take you, and the due date. And then it's basically a calendar. So then when something comes off of your calendar, instead of you having to go through and think, okay, what should I do? What should I do for my free 2 hours? It just auto populates it with, this is the most productive thing you could be doing right now. So it's a super smart way of like managing. I don't know. I want to look into it. There's a cost to it, but there's like a free trial. So I was like, hmm.
I'm like, I think I've heard of that one, and I was like, oh yeah, I get a
Yeah,
lot of ads for it.
sure. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
hmm,
They're pushing that one a lot right now, but it looks cool. I don't know.
that's
Or
cool.
maybe I'm just falling for the ads. No, I was looking into it a
Hmm,
little bit. Yeah, I just wanted to look into more like AI tools, especially after talking last week about the practical stuff in life, the
right.
just making life easier. I did have a couple people like, oh, trying the Lego app or downloading it because of what we were talking about, which is fun
That's fun.
last week. Frick it.
All right, well,
Sound like I'm
I'm
in a
gonna
meeting.
send you a link then. It's super silly.
Okay.
This is what I created based on what you shared last week. I'm sending it through the
Mm,
chat awkwardly. I guess I could just text it to you, but there you have it.
no worries, bro. Hey, it's Brancher. Hmm. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
go for it.
Well, no, you're showing the website that your person created, and as you're doing it, I thought of this idea, and I didn't get around to it till this morning, so I haven't put a lot of effort into it. But I was just like, I don't see a lot of value in Brancher other than being like a second opinion almost, because it's not like
Hmm.
it's doing much for you that would be outside of just going to ChatGPT and asking for the prompt yourself.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
Unless it's got like a personality. So I tried to make this one. I called it Mr. Brightside, and I basically just was like, put in your life story, what's bothering you, whatever, and it'll try to see the good in it. I also gave it
Hmm.
the personality of like an old man, or I
Hmm.
tried to at least. So it's just this like friendly guy who's like, well, that's rough that you're going through that, but um, here's how it could be beneficial in the long run, or here's what it's teaching you. It's teaching you to stay strong, or it's an opportunity to have some downtime and chill, or whatever it is. And so um,
Interesting.
I don't know. I was like, again, I still don't think I'd ever use it, but I see how it could be used. Just don't see how it's beneficial. But I wanted to create Mr. Brightside, and I did that this morning, and I was pretty happy with it. You get a little dog at the end of each question too, or prompt.
But is it like an AI generated dog? So you might get
Yeah,
like this nice message and then a dog with three eyes or
that
something?
was one of the longest parts that it took this morning, was that it was like two dogs, and then it was like a weird looking dog. So I was like, a dog. It doesn't look creepy. It looks good. There's only one of them. It's outside. It's not inside. It doesn't have text on it. It's just the dog. And it took a while, but I think it's okay now. I was watching the tutorial, and it showed how you could add, image generation at the end, and I'm like, that doesn't really benefit me. And then I was like, well, what if it's just like a cozy animal at the end of
Yeah.
each answer. And so I was like, make a puppy. So, but
Nice
I don't know.
job.
It
Way
was
to play with
interesting
it.
to play around with it. Yeah, I know. I wanted to, and so I'm glad I got around to it. AI is too positive sometimes, man. It's the only reason I want to pay
Hmm.
for Grok on X, because it has the fun version. and can be a little less like always cheerful and stuff. And I want that.
Hmm.
Plus, on top of that, it's the most powerful AI yet, and so even Sam Altman, or it's sorry, it's got the the training cluster that came online, and so it's set to be the most powerful AI. And even Sam Altman has talked about it with like a bit of a worried attitude of them surpassing ChatGPT. And I'm over here like, well, I don't really care who's in the lead, but whoever is in the lead, I want to use their tool because then that'll probably be the most efficient. So, and the other
Fair
thing
enough.
is the memory feature in ChatGPT that like is supposed to, store knowledge about you so that it'll make future answers better. Like I tell it, don't ever bold anything because it does little asterisks when I try to copy it, and every single answer it bolds it. So it doesn't
Yeah,
ever work. Um, and that's one of the coolest things that I feel like has kept me wanting to use ChatGPT over anything else. Because I feel like if that feature actually worked, that would be way more beneficial. But because it doesn't, if XAI gets more powerful, I think it's cheaper for an X premium um, subscription than it is for ChatGPT. So I could pay for that and use their thing. But I haven't used it before, so I'd want to at least do a month of a trial and see if it can actually do long form content like newsletters and what I use it for work.
sure,
So
sure.
I don't know if it'll work, but the fact that it's going to be like probably more powerful soon and maybe the best one in the runnings. Even if it's just for 1 month, it'd be worth it to pay for that for 1 month and then ChatGPT again the next month if they pass up again. I just want to be using the latest and the best,
Yeah,
even if it's just for work. So you have like no notes. Do you want to hear about the Apple announcement? Did you watch any of
yeah.
that? Do you know any about it?
No,
Anything about it?
I was going to, but then my kid ended up feeding me during that time. But yes, I would love to hear about the announcement.
So I feel like most of what I'm going to share does not have to do with AI because the main AI
Mm.
notes I had is the fact that nothing new was announced.
Oh,
Aside from one thing, nothing new was announced. And it's because they have yet to actually like fully release any of it. It's finally out for like beta testers, a fair amount of
right.
it, but like the new Siri still doesn't work. It's like I think that it's got like the mail organization. It's got some of the photo stuff. It finally they for the beta testers they released like the photo, you know, erasing parts of the background, stuff like that. Those tools. So it's got some of it. The auto replies for like texts and stuff, which other some people have been having problems with because they aren't good yet. So
Hmm.
it's very gradual, but it's supposed to actually mostly release within a month, and then some of the other features, aka it's not all releasing, will release over the next several months. And so this is a very slow release, but they're really capitalizing on the privacy aspect of how it's got their private or private cloud compute, so that even when you're asking like ChatGPT something through your phone, it won't give them your data basically. It'll ask
Hmm.
the prompt but won't share any data with them, I guess. So they're really trying to make sure everything is secure. And I think that's cool. Um, but so that said, there are some cool things. I want to upgrade to the 16 because I have the 14 Pro. And I was really hoping that above anything else, because a lot of people were worried that they wouldn't upgrade a lot because they'd be like, it's got Apple, intelligence, it's got AI now, and so that's the cool factor of the 16, and they might not upgrade other things. But I was like, more than anything, I just want them to upgrade the camera because I already have the 14 and the 15 is, an upgrade. But if the 16 is even more of an upgrade, I'll really notice it by getting the 16 when I have the 14. Um, and that is one of the things that they just like they talked so much about. They like greatly improved it. So I think the coolest thing is for the Pro, you're able to shoot in 4K with 120 FPS. So like super high quality. And then after shooting a video, you can go back and change the speed of it if you want to slow it down. And it'll still be this like super high quality because it's shooting so fast. So I thought that was really cool because it's just for music videos, for any activity, just any really, I don't know, in general, I think that's cool for videos to be able to change the speed of them, but also still preserve the super high quality aspect. And then also the ultra wide and the lots of other camera functionalities. That's all technical, but they really enhanced everything on not just the Pro but the 16 itself too. And then they also did the other thing I thought they might do, where they kind of started from the ground up for this phone as far as like the chip goes. Especially they went from A16 to an A18 with for the iPhone 16. So big improvements on speed and power and energy efficiency and all that. So it's more powerful, which will be nice for AI. It's and better at and faster and higher quality and everything. And the camera is greatly improved. And then and the battery life is better. And I'm like, that's great. I'll take all of that. And on top of that, I have the 14, so it'll still be getting the other improvements of the USB-C port and titanium. Not that I care as much, but it's still cool. One of the main things that is on both of the phones is, oh, and I don't even have the action button, and they're keeping that around, which is cool. So I'll get the action button. That's the extra button above the volume. So I can
Right.
like change that to be Shazam and not have to go to Shazam. I can just press one button on my phone and get the song that's playing, which is cool. Um, but they have the new button that's below the power button. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-mm.
So they have a button that's like pretty flat. It's not really an outer button. It's like a flat thing, and it's on the side of your phone. So if you're holding it to take a photo, I'm just gonna show my phone. If you're holding it to take a photo, it'd be basically where your thumb is. And so the point is that it's the camera button basically, and you can take a photo like this. And if you're holding it like this, it's right here. So it's like if you're taking a picture with an actual camera, and it'll be this cool button that's got a lot of functionality. You can click it and it'll open up the camera, and then you can click it again to take a photo. You can click and hold to take a video. You can tap it and then slide your finger along it and change the zoom, or you can tap it twice and change what you're going to be changing with that, whether it's like the depth or the filters even, and then back out of that and then use it and swipe between those options.
Hmm.
And then you can tap and hold to like refocus on the person, like it's a shutter basically. So it's cool, and it's basically the goal is to make your phone feel like a professional camera while you're taking the photo, because Apple likes doing that, is making their phone as good as the high quality cameras, so you don't need all the materials, you just need an iPhone. So they shot the latest music video by the Weeknd, his new song on it, and they showed that whole process in the announcement, which I thought was actually pretty cool, because they showed also a lot of the slowing down video stuff to make it all slow motion because it's super high quality. But when you're on the any other screen than the camera and you press and hold the button instead of opening up camera with it, it will go to a camera looking like app or function or something. And basically, whatever is on screen will be shown to AI. So you can you can just point your camera at a dog and it'll come up with what kind of dog that is, or you can point it at like a monument and it'll tell you what monument that is. You can point it at a flyer and it'll add that date and time, or ask if you want to add that date and time and event to your calendar. So it's just like this, it's like basically showing AI the world around you and being like, what is this? Add this to my calendar. Who is this? Maybe even I wonder if it can know people if they're in your contacts. That'd be cool. And like, show it a math equation and it can help you figure it out and stuff like that. So, and you can use that function to directly ask ChatGPT a question or look something up on Google too. So that's kind of cool. It's like if you went into the ChatGPT app and you took a photo and then was like, what is this? But it's just straight from your phone. And if it doesn't need one of the outer tools, it can just use the in phone AI. It's pretty cool.
That is
Um,
cool.
yeah. So I think that one's cool as far as AI goes. But again, it's like there's a ton of cool features. So by upgrading from the 14 to the 16, I get the 15 perks like the USB-C, titanium, already better camera. But I get the 16 perks of even better camera, better chip, the action or not, yeah, the action button, but also the camera button. Um, and then on top of that, obviously by doing anything 15 Pro and higher, but especially 16s because they're built for future AI updates. You get any artificial intelligence stuff that rolls out, even if it takes months. So I still think it's worth it. The main problem I have is the color, because the iPhone 16 Don't judge me, but
No worries.
it's like I love it. I love the colors, and they're so I'm gonna
I wonder if I assume they've hyped up this 16 as being super like durable too. Because I'm wondering if cases are going to be more a thing of the past. If you have a little button here that you have to be able to just tap, that's a
yeah,
big gap for a case to have. I feel like
yeah.
people are going to be
And so
walking around without cases.
they showed there are a couple of cases that are MagSafe
Okay.
cases, so they can be
Okay.
used with the wireless charger. And first of all, one of them looked ugly, but whatever. Um, but they, they have the gaps where they need to have the gaps. But I think that
Yeah.
is kind of the point: is the titanium stronger but also lighter? And then they talked about how their screen as well. They made it so it's again like way way
Super
tougher.
durable. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and their whole
Huh.
phone is dust proof and waterproof and all the things. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna share my whole screen so I
Okay.
can show these two things. First of all, epic background. So excited for
Very
Arcane
nice.
2. So these
Hmm.
are the colors of the iPhone 16 and I love them
Ooh.
so much. Look at this lavender. I want it so much. But it's the 16 and I know I won't be happy if I don't get the Pro because I'll always know that I didn't get the better option.
Ah.
And it's
Hmm.
got the two camera and it's still amazing and it's still got the camera button. It's got A18. It's it's awesome. It's an amazing phone. So I was telling Olivia that maybe next year, if she's looking to upgrade her phone, she doesn't care about being like the latest and newest, and maybe there's different colors in the lineup. If she wants to, get a generation old and get this lavender one, then she should. Because the other one is this, well, is this, which is still cool looking, but it's gold. The last phone that came out, I believe the special color was their silver, their titanium silver, and then they had white and black as well. So if you wanted to look like you had the newest phone, you could get the silver. But if you want to look like you have the newest phone, which is something that I stupidly care about, I'd have to get the gold. And I don't think it's necessarily even as cool as the black and white, which aren't at all special. They could be any
Hmm.
iPhone and you wouldn't be able to tell immediately. But on top of that, compared to these bright, amazing colors, I would even take a pink phone over the gold, honestly. But anyway, that's all. I think I've already gotten over it after thinking about it for a while. I think I want the gold. I don't want the Pro Max. I just want the Pro, but it comes
Yeah.
with enough upgrades from the original, most of which that I don't need and maybe won't even use, but I love having the best of the best and I love having something that I know will last 2 or 3 years. So
Yeah.
I think that the 16 Pro will be worth it. But again,
Hmm.
the gold, it looks better than like the leaked images. There was like some pretty bad brown ones going around of people being like, this is the new color. And everyone was like, that's awful. And obviously it looks way better than that because they wouldn't actually release an ugly phone. I just don't think it's as cool as this lineup. And so
Gotcha.
that's my main sadness with it. Otherwise, it's got the let me stop screen sharing. Otherwise, it's got the exact updates that I wanted and camera quality and everything. I'm really excited. So I think it'll be
Cool.
great. I think I'm gonna get the 16 Pro. I just wish it came in a better color. That's
Fair
a
enough.
nitpicky thing. On top of that, like I got the purple phone when I got the 14 Pro, and I have a case on it. So for the 2 years I've had it, I pretty much, other than taking it out of its case to be like, look at my phone color, pretty much it never shows through. So I think what I'll do is I'll just get a case that complements the gold color, get something white
Fair.
or something that it looks good through.
Not
And
funny. I just had to take my case off to even remember what color my
you have a
phone
white
is
one,
because
right?
it always has a case on. No, I have a gold.
You have gold.
Remember back in the
Wow,
day when it was white around the edges?
that's probably what I'm thinking then.
I had that.
Wow. Well, all
But it
right.
wasn't white on the back.
Are you thinking about upgrading?
I probably should be. We're gonna try to, I've got to upgrade for other reasons. So yeah, I probably should be, but I haven't been thinking about it. I have a busy
What?
life, bro.
You need to upgrade? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just mean Tucker and I are still on different phone plans, so we're gonna try to get it together. So
Oh,
we will be doing some sort of switch up,
sure. Well,
probably around Black
again,
Friday, but
just for your information,
yeah,
the 16 Pro has such cool camera stuff. If you ever plan on taking any sort of like professional stuff. That being said, the
right?
16 is insane and has better colors and is
I like
cool
the
in a lot
see.
of
You said
ways.
the purple and the pink, or the lavender and the pink. I like the little aqua one. That was cool. But
The
anyways,
green?
yeah,
No,
I
totally.
probably
Literally.
wouldn't have.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you want to upgrade and you also like don't want to spend way too much money or something, you should just get the 16. I'm so close to just getting the 16. I just think that I'll be grateful if I have the best of the best for a while,
Sure.
especially getting to rub it in my friends' faces and stuff. So
No,
I
I
think
know
it's worth
this
it
is
for me to
important
get the
to you.
gold. I know. But I like to anyone else wanting to get a phone, I'm like, get the 16, just the normal 16. It's already like one of the best phones in the world and comes in way better colors. And I like the two camera thing. It looks cool.
Yeah,
So I think it's worth it. So
yeah,
it's got the other thing is there's not a lot that sets it apart from the Pro other than camera stuff.
sure.
Like they're like it's even more powerful and it's like okay, I don't think I'll use that difference very much. Maybe
Right.
it's a
For sure, for
slightly better
sure.
battery
That may
life,
not
but
stick
it's
out to you. Yeah.
yeah. So I think all in all when it has both the camera buttons, the dynamic island, all the things, I think the 16 on its own would be a good choice. Plus it's,
Mhm.
$200 cheaper, so yeah, it was a good announcement. I had fun with it. Felt less preachy than Apple is sometimes too. So
Oh, okay.
it's nice.
Thank you for summarizing it for me so I don't have to watch the full hour and a half
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
The main other thing is I still don't need the Apple Watch. They talked about the upgrades to the AirPods, and mostly they were about like health and that kind of
Hmm.
functionality. They're if they are approved, their AirPods can basically be used as actual medically like medical grade um, hearing devices, whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah. Hearing
Hearing
aid.
aids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is very cool and I think awesome. And I'm also like, I don't care then. I don't need that. So, but you can do like on
We know
your
people.
phone hearing tests where it's like playing out of the left ear and you tap the screen when you hear something. So it like can actually do like a hearing test and then it can figure out how best to help you hear. So
That could
interesting.
be
And also
amazing.
like decreasing hearing loss and stuff, trying to prevent loud noises and other things. So it's cool. But I don't
Hmm.
think I'll upgrade or get the new anything. And then the other thing they talked about was watches. And I actually would love to get an Apple Watch. The screen's bigger, the screen's brighter, the screen's thinner. It's all beautiful. It looks great. Updates wise, they didn't do a ton, but the main thing is it's got a speaker. You can play music out of your watch. And I was like, wait, I wanted that like years ago. I wanted to just get a watch speaker. I thought it was this brilliant idea, but of course it was already out. But so now I'm like, well, now I want to watch just so I can have a watch speaker like I always wanted. But it's probably still not worth it. I don't have an Apple Watch, and will probably continue to not get one.
Fair enough. I love mine. Mine has helped me be less addicted to my phone. I still have a problem, but it's really nice
When you
to
don't have to
just,
look at your phone to see certain things, and then you're on your phone.
yeah, exactly. Because if I open my phone to view a notification, then boom, I'm on my phone and what else is going on? Versus if it's on my watch, I just see it and I'm like,
It's
oh,
fair.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
fair. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll think about it. If I ever save up some extra money and want to get it, I think it'd be fun. I'm not in a rush. But yeah.
fair.
And they upgraded the AirPods Max, the headphones. They talked
Yeah.
about them, and I was like, finally, they're upgrading them. They've been out for years, and they haven't done any upgrades. So there's new colors, and they charge by USB C, and that's it. That's it. They talked about
Wow.
them for like a few minutes, and that was it. And then they moved on, and I'm
Funny.
like, are you serious? Nothing else. No other perks or improvements or anything. So yeah.
Hmm.
The main topic was the iPhone, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I think it'll be cool. So I'll probably get it.
Awesome.
So sold
Nice.
me. Yeah.
There you go.
Plus, I had notes open to take some notes about all the features and things for mainly this podcast, and I had my phone open to Shazam so that I could Shazam every song on the going from speaker to speaker because Apple always plays really good music on their announcements. So I have a whole
Yep.
playlist of all the songs that played now too.
Wow. Nice. Well, I
Exciting
look forward
stuff.
to seeing you with it showing it off.
Good. You look forward to that, right? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look forward to showing it off. You can pre-order
Good.
as soon as Friday and buy it in stores. I think next week. So
Very cool. Well, that's all on the agenda for today, right?
yeah, and no other
Cool.
updates. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, people.
All the
Thank you,
people.
Apple, for supplying most of our content.
Yeah. and
All
making
right.
good announcements that entertain me for an hour and a half so I don't have to work.
Yeah, that too. That's good. Very cool.
Well,
That's it. That's enough of that. Cool.
see you next week.